Hey guys, what's going on today? It's your boy Infinity, and today I'll be bringing you yet another event preview. Now, of course, what event we're going to focus on, it's going to be CWL Miami. Now, this video is going to be part 1 of 3, I believe. I'm going to be giving you guys some content all this week leading up to the event itself. It's a big one, and we're going to focus on it pretty heavily. Now, the focus of today's video will, of course, be bringing you guys through the basics of what the CWL Miami Open is, how important it is to the entirety of the 2019 season, and the North American teams that will be attending the event on their own turf. So we'll jump right into it then, because of course on the screen right now you can kind of see I've taken directly from MLG.com. So this is their own summary of the event itself. So there is a maximum of 256 teams entering what will be a double elimination bracket. Now, there is a prize pool of $150,000. That is double the regular amount for the open events. Every single one up to this has been $75,000. Of course, this is doubled. It is, technically speaking, what's known as the Amateur Finals. So this, for a lot of the teams, will be their last chance at playing in the 2019 CWL season. Now, it is important to note that the top 16 for the CWL at the CWL Miami event will get into champs, and that's why this is potentially the most important event of the year for amateur teams, besides maybe Las Vegas. They're probably even. I mean, Las Vegas, that decided whether or not you are pro or an amateur. This decides whether or not you get a chance to prove yourself ahead of the franchising that's coming next year, of course, because that's when players are going to be picked for those franchise teams, and it'll be a lot harder to play as an amateur in that system. So as I've actually screenshotted as well from COD Gamepedia the specifics of the format. You've got double elimination, best of threes. So this is kind of a bit of a janky concept at the very least. It's best of threes simply for time reasons. It's easier for MLG to do it this way. It's best of threes all the way up until the top 16. Now that means that for a lot of teams to qualify, they're going to have to win a lot of best of threes, and that takes a little less skill than the best of fives. But at the very least, there will be best of fives for the qualification matches and a couple of rounds leading up to that. And of course, as is stated in the COD Gamepedia as well, top 16 teams qualify for CoD Champs 2019. But which teams will be getting through to CoD Champs? Well, as I said, during this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the North American teams attending the event, or at the very least some highlight ones that I think some will get through, some will just be challenges. Let's take a look. Alright, so let's talk about the North American teams. Now again, just a quick disclaimer before we talk about these. Look, I might not be right with which teams I think are going to qualify. I just simply have picked 6 teams that I think are a cut above the rest, and there may be a few teams that slip through the net. So let's get right into it. Teams I've picked up: Aspire Esports, Hybrid Gaming, Sage Esports, Sicario Gaming, Encrypted Gaming, and Team Ferro. Just really quickly going to go for each one, explain really why I think they're going to do well, why they're exciting teams. So Aspire Esports, really consistent team throughout the season. The only team in this entire sort of thing who have stayed together for the most part, and they've benefited from it so much. They're extremely consistent. They got top 3 at London, and it was such a deserved performance. I think these guys are 100% going to qualify, and I don't see a way in which they don't. Hybrid Gaming, you may know they've had a bit of drama recently with Pentagram. If you watched my last video, you will absolutely know that. They've got BZ Stamino, Spoof, Panda, and they've recently added Jin Troid to replace Pentagram. To me, not the best replacement, if I'm honest, but I still think they'll be able to qualify, even if it's something with a top 8, top 12 performance. Sage Esports, they've got Gravity from FaZe Clan Black. The rest of the team's pretty well. Zin Control Gaming at Fort Worth 2. Look, Sage Esports, yet another roster that performed consistently well throughout the season. They're going to qualify, to me at the very least. Sicario Gaming, this roster is extremely exciting to me. If you follow Tommy, you remember what he did at Champs last year, where he got top 12 with that Vitality roster, a roster of unknowns at the very least to some of the top analysts in the scene, those who focus on pros. Now he's going to do it again. He's absolutely going to do it again. Linny and Exceed, they are very, very good players. Linny, top 12 with Legion at Anaheim. Then, of course, he got top 8 with a new roster, Fierce Esports. Sorry, he got top 12 at London and then top 8 at Anaheim. For me, He's a great player. Really happy that Tommy picked him up. Exceed 2, you'll know him from Scuffx Comeback alongside Proto, and Exceed, I believe, is the substitute for Midnight. And of course, Chino, ex-pro player, was playing on Enigma 6 this season. To me, there's no way this team doesn't qualify. They will be the new Vitality this season. Maybe not going to get top 12 at Champs, at the very least, but it will give Tommy a fighting chance against some of the pro teams. Encrypted Gaming, Theory, Goonjar, Happy, TCM, Fellow, a bunch of pro or ex-pro players. There's a chance that these guys don't qualify, of course. Some of these players haven't really played much this season. I don't think Theory has played since Las Vegas. I don't think Happy has either. I might be wrong in saying that. To me, at the very least, though, I think this team is going to do spectacularly well. Possibly a top 8 finish. I can absolutely see it happening. Team Pharaoh. Now, this is probably the roster that I'm most excited about. Team Pharaoh, Shotzi, Spart, Teskey, and Pacer. You'll know Spart, Teskey, and Pacer as the team that got top 24 at Anaheim. And, of course, previous to that, they actually won the NG League, I think it was season 7 or 8. And they beat out, I think it was Sage at the time as well, to win that or aspire. They are a very talented trio of players. They'll be joining Shotzi, who is absolute prodigy, current Halo World Champion. I mean, look, people are gassing Shotzi for a reason. He will absolutely be a pro player within a year, and this is his chance to prove himself. He did play on Splice back at the start of the season. Didn't go so well, but I think your introduction to the game isn't going to go as well as you might expect, even as a Halo pro. But you've got to look at Halo pros in the past. You know, you've got Formal, Frosty, Enable, Crim6. These are all Halo pros that have come over to COD and performed spectacularly well. Team Pharaoh, are led by Pharaoh, who absolutely has an axe to grind. To me, at the very least, there's no way these don't qualify. So those are 6 teams that I think will qualify, and I'm pretty confident that they will. Like I said, could be wrong. But then I'm going to look at the potential challengers. I'm not going to talk too much in depth about these. Fury and Control, Hyperboom, Carnage, Legend Status, Vanity, RBL, and Infinite. Now, these are all teams that have potential to qualify if they have a good performance. If anybody from these 8 teams gets through, it will likely be in Control or Fury, maybe Carnage Gaming. They are very good teams. You can't underrate them. Beyond that, I think a lot of these teams will probably just finish short, top 20, top 24 placements. And that's nothing wrong with that. I think they're very good teams for the most part. I just don't necessarily think they'll be able to qualify. But still highlight teams, and they still absolutely could do so. So that's going to do it for the North American team highlights. Let's take a look at the prize pool breakdown. Alright, so let's go through the open prize pool here for the Open Bracket Finals. Now, again, if you haven't been following the Open circuit this season, you know that each event has had a prize pool of $75,000. That has been doubled, as I said previously, to $150,000, but the actual split itself is a lot better for the teams here in the Open Bracket Finals with the Mountain Dew and Gamefield Open Bracket. So, $60,000. Quadruple the amount normally that first place gets, 36,000 for second, 24,000 for third, fourth place gets 12,000, fifth and sixth gets 6,000, and seventh and eighth gets 3,000 apiece. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching once more. If you did like what you saw today, please like the video and subscribe for more content to do with the amateur Call of Duty esports scene. Part 2 will be coming tomorrow with the European and Asia Pacific focus. Again, twitch.tv/Call of Duty Open for the CWL Amateur Finals, July 19th to the 21st. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.